December 8th, 1980, started like any other mild winter morning in New York City. The sun was shining over Central Park, casting long shadows against the Gothic architecture of the Dakota Building on 72nd Street. Inside, John Lennon and Yoko Ono were optimistic. After a 5-year hiatus to raise their son Sean, John had finally returned to the public eye. His new album, Double Fantasy, had been released just weeks prior. He felt creatively reborn. At 40 years old, the former Beatle was looking forward, not backward. He had a photo shoot scheduled with Annie Leibovitz for Rolling Stone magazine that morning. In the photos, a naked John curled up against a fully clothed Yoko, an image that would soon become one of the most iconic covers in history. John told Leibovitz, "You've captured our relationship exactly." He didn't know it was the last portrait he would ever sit for. While John was inside feeling the warmth of a new beginning, a cold shadow was waiting outside on the sidewalk. Mark David Chapman, a 25-year-old security guard from Hawaii, had arrived in New York with a singular, dark purpose. He was a man tormented by inner demons and a twisted obsession with J.D. Salinger's novel, The Catcher in the Rye. Chapman believed Lennon was a phony, a wealthy hypocrite who preached no possessions while living like a millionaire. In his pocket, Chapman carried a paperback copy of the book and a Charter Arms .38 special revolver. He had spent the morning lingering near the Dakota's archway, mingling with other fans who often waited there for a glimpse of the legend. To the doorman and other fans, he seemed unremarkable, just another admirer. But inside his mind, a violent narrative was reaching its climax. He wasn't there for an autograph. He was there to steal history. Around 5 p.m., John and Yoko left the apartment to head to the record plant studio. Their limousine was waiting at the curb. As they walked toward the car, fans approached them. This was normal for John. He was always gracious with the people who loved his music. Mark David Chapman stepped forward, silently holding out a copy of Double Fantasy. John took the album. He signed it. John Lennon, 1980. He looked at Chapman and asked, "Is that all you want?" Chapman nodded, frozen in the presence of his target. A photographer, Paul Goresh, happened to snap a picture of this exact moment. It captures the chilling dichotomy, the kindness of the victim and the hidden malice of the perpetrator. John then entered the limo, unaware he had just looked into the eyes of his killer. At the studio, the atmosphere was electric. John and Yoko were working on a song called "Walking on Thin Ice." It was intended to be Yoko's next hit, featuring John's lead guitar work. Those present recalled John being bubbling with energy, excited about the mix. They worked for hours, perfecting the sound. It was a productive, happy session. Around 10:30 p.m., they decided to call it a night. They could have gone for dinner, but John wanted to get home to say goodnight to 5-year-old Sean before he went to sleep. The decision to go straight home sealed his fate. The limousine drove back through the dark streets of Manhattan, approaching 72nd Street one last time. The city was winding down, but the darkness at the Dakota had not left. Chapman was still there, waiting in the shadows of the archway. At approximately 10:50 p.m., the limo pulled up to the Dakota. Instead of driving into the secure courtyard, the car stopped at the curb. Yoko got out first. John trailed a few paces behind her, carrying cassette tapes from the session. As John passed the archway, Chapman emerged from the darkness. He dropped into a combat stance. He didn't speak. He fired 5 hollow point bullets from his .38 special. The first missed, but the next 4 struck John in the back and shoulder. John staggered up the stairs into the vestibule, crying out, "I'm shot! I'm shot!" before collapsing. The concierge, Jay Hastings, covered John with his uniform jacket and summoned police. Chapman didn't run. He calmly took off his coat, folded it, and started reading The Catcher in the Rye again, waiting for the police to arrive. The silence that followed the gunshots was heavier than any sound. Police officers realized they couldn't wait for an ambulance. They lifted John into the back of a squad car and sped toward Roosevelt Hospital. Despite the doctor's frantic efforts to resuscitate him, the damage was too severe. John Lennon was pronounced dead on arrival at 11:15 p.m. Back at the hospital, the news broke in the most unusual way during a Monday Night Football broadcast. Howard Cosell interrupted the game to tell millions of viewers, "Dead on arrival, John Lennon." The world stopped. Crowds began to gather outside the Dakota, singing "Imagine" and "Give Peace a Chance." They held candles, crying in the cold December air. A voice of a generation had been silenced by a senseless act of violence. Decades have passed since that night, but the echo of those gunshots has faded, replaced by the enduring power of Lennon's music. Chapman remains in prison, denied parole repeatedly, a footnote in history defined only by his crime. But John Lennon is remembered for his art, his plea for peace, and his humanity. The Strawberry Fields Memorial in Central Park is forever filled with flowers from fans who weren't even born when he died. He once sang, "I'm not the only one," and he was right. His dream of peace lives on in millions. Thank you for watching this tribute to a legend. If you want to keep history alive, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with someone who loves good music. See you in the next video.